Gemini, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. And if we look at the astrology, guys, it is an extraordinarily big week for you. Mercury goes into retrograde. It starts off in Libra. And then it will eventually retrograde, not this week, but eventually retrograde back into Virgo. But it goes into retrograde, and when we start off this week, Mercury, which is your ruling dignitary, is in opposition to both Chiron and Jupiter, and we'll talk about what that means for you. But then happening in your first house in Gemini is Mars, and Mars says a square to Pluto in the beginning of the week, and it is squared to Venus throughout the entire week. And we're going to get into how that's going to impact you too. This is your weekly tarot card reading, Gemini, from Born Without Boundaries Tarot, and mixed with a little bit of astrology is going to help you understand the energies that are coming at you this week. This message comes to you when it is supposed to. Divine timing. I don't care if you see this video 6 months after it's aired, 6 years after it's aired. The message comes to you when it's meant for you. There's always a second half of this message, and that link is below in the description box as well. I will pin the links to the extended reading to the top of the comment section too. Also, I'm really happy to announce that I now have memberships to my channel. They're growing really strong. There's a number of different memberships that give you different accesses to me and to the content on this channel, and the Unbound membership will give you unlimited access to those extended readings. So I hope to see you guys there. I also have a second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation to help you through the week, Monday through Friday, and I'd love to have you guys join those live chats. I'll attach the link above. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. Gemini content comes out every single Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Remember to like this video because it helps a lot. And let's get into the cards. Open to infinite possibility. Nope, you're shut down. You are never alone. You feel extremely isolated, and now is a lucky time. It's really interesting. It feels like a lot is coming at you and you do not feel good enough. It feels like a lot is coming at you, and maybe that's why you don't feel good enough, because you're being super bombarded with a lot of tough things to think about all at the same time. And normally your very clever mind would be able to handle this, but it is challenged. Mercury going into retrograde is going to make you feel very drained. It's time for you to slow down. It's a time for you to allow yourself to not just necessarily kick back, but understand that things aren't going to move quickly. Retrogrades are times for digging down and understanding, not trying to push ahead or make any progress externally. It's about internal progress. Think about retrogrades as introspective, right? And it's a beautiful opportunity for you to kind of take back a little bit of your power from things that have come and hit you over the years that have, especially with that opposition to Chiron, made you doubt your abilities and made you doubt or made other people doubt your value. You could be talking too much or saying too much to try to overcompensate. You may feel or be tempted to this week overpromise, because you feel like you have to overcompensate. So honestly, Gemini, the best thing that you could do is go real slow, meditate, ground yourself, especially for an air sign. Grounding is exceptionally important, but you could also ground yourself with breath. That's a wonderful way for you to sort of slow down time around you and think, do I really have to overcompensate? You may feel, especially with Mars being in Gemini and filling Gemini with that energy and that intensity, especially in the beginning of this week with the Sese square to Pluto, you could feel this intense need or pressure coming down on you from authority figures or people who want to have control or authority over you, and then you feel like you're backed up against the wall and that you have to overcompensate. Know that this is all energy that could be surrounding you this week, and it's your choice how you can react to it. I would say do not react. let things flow through you, and basically step back and try to be as objective as possible and take one thing at a time. We are still in Virgo season, and that still matters a great deal. The cards on the table, now is a lucky time, but the card itself means that things are replicating and multiplying. So even though things are multiplying, it may be too much all at once. You know, it's positive. It's not like bad things, but even good things, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing, is basically what it's saying right here on the table. Open to infinite possibilities, something is shut down. In other words, somebody that you're dealing with, or even you yourself, is not ready. And listen, it doesn't matter if you're meeting them with the best ideas ever. If they're not ready, somebody is only capable of meeting you where they are, and the limitations are not about you, and they don't speak to how valuable you are, but you are going to feel that way, especially in the beginning of this week, because of that Chiron interact. Oh, it must be me. It must be I'm not good enough. I'm not communicating well enough. No, sweetheart, that is not what's going on. The problem is they are not ready to receive the message. It has got nothing to do with you. If you want to put the message out there, that's fine, but understand it's going to take a while for it to sink in, because there could be some major communication problems now, and you could think, because of Mercury retrograde, you could think, oh, I'm communicating perfectly, and you may be communicating perfectly, but communicating perfectly is also about understanding your audience, and your audience is non-receptive right now. It's just not picking up what you're putting down, so it may not be the best time for you to communicate everything. And I have a feeling that you won't be really wanting to or trying to speak to people unless you're put under pressure, and then you'll try to overcompensate, because it's like almost like you feel like you have to, like, you overthank them or be overly grateful. And the truth is this: they're not even going to get it. They're not even going to understand. So I would suggest that you don't even put that much effort in. But if you have to put effort in, use as few words as possible. You could see that this week especially you might be tripping over or stuttering over your words too in the beginning of the week, because that opposition to Chiron really kind of almost like sabotages you in terms of communication, in terms of you being able to articulate your ideas. You could say like, well, I've never stuttered before, why am I using the wrong words, or whatever kind of like speech impediments come up this week. It's going to be in the beginning of the week. And I'll tell you, I don't think it'll be held against you, but you'll hold it against you. And that's the real issue this week. So I want you to be very aware of that energy. Leave your comments below, because I would love to know, Gemini, exactly how this is impacting you. Like, how is this energy impacting you? And how have you noticed? Have you noticed that you've been tripping over your words? Have you noticed that people have been trying to like back you into corners and expecting too much from you? Have you noticed? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. And then we have, you are never alone, but you feel alone. You feel like nobody gets you. You feel isolated. That could also be another contentious point this week, where you feel like you have to overcompensate in order to be loved, but you feel like you're constantly drained and you're constantly empty. Of course you feel isolated, because people are not getting, they're not understanding what you're trying to communicate. And if you feel like people aren't understanding you, you feel very isolated. And I gotta say, it's really going to be necessary for you to pray and meditate this week, because ultimately, people aren't going to be getting you. You're going to be overcompensating and shooting off all these words and overpromising. Or it could be that somebody's doing this to you, and the reason why they're doing it to you is because they don't feel good enough. They don't feel good enough, not only for you, but they don't feel good enough for themselves. And that's something that you have no control over that. But they're shooting out 1,000,001 different different promises, and to be honest with you, none of them are really, it's not that they're not sincere. I'm not picking up malice. It's desperate. And a desperate person will promise anything, including things that promises they can't really even keep. Balancing masculine and feminine energies. I mean, this has got to do literally because Mars is in Gemini and it's squared to Venus. And this is when Mars and Venus fucking clash heads in order to balance each other out. Squares are always like that. They challenge themselves to come together, to find commonalities. They're screaming and yelling at each other. So allow your feminine side to creatively inspire you and your masculine side to give you confidence. It's saying that balance is going to be a challenge for you this week because you are going to be driven to take action. And ultimately, all the action you take seems to be self-defeating, seems to not be working, or seems to be blowing up in your face. So it's like, what do I do? The best action for you to take this week, according to the astrology, and we're going to get deeper with the cards. Hang with me. We're going to get deeper with the cards. But according to the astrology and by what I see right now, patience. Patience and observation. Listening. Let people talk. Let people talk, take stock, and then see, okay, what kind of actions do they carry through? They will quickly show you their reliability and their capabilities by what they say and what actions match up to what they say. So this is something that you're going to have to be very, very diligent about and look really hard into and pay close attention to. Where do their actions match up with their words? You're going to find that there's only one or two things you can really rely on them for, because there's a lot of words, but there's not a lot of action. And ultimately, what is in your soul? Are you spewing a lot of words? Are you promising? Because you can be over promising because you have this conflict inside of you that needs to resolve itself before externally you can actually present a complete unified you. Right now there seems to be a lot of division inside of you. Like one day it's, well, people could go fuck themselves, I don't care what they think, and then the next day it's, oh my god, did I hurt people's feelings? Or, oh fuck, what are those people gonna do to me? They see what I said yesterday. It's like 1 minute it's this way, 1 minute it's that way, and the challenge of this week is to find that bridge between the two so that you can smooth that out. And we just started. Guys, if you haven't yet, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe to the channel. I had people write to me the other day, oh my god, Michelle, I just found you again. And I'm like, found me again? How'd you lose me? How'd you lose me? Subscribe to the channel. You never lose me. I have 2 channels you can subscribe to. Milk and Honey, Serendipity, The Fates, and By the Book. So first we have this feeling of everything is going so well. Everything is extremes. I think that is a good way to summarize this week for you. This is a week of extremes, and somehow you're figuring out how to tolerate it. Because there was such harmony, maybe not too long ago, this could be a little bit in the past, but there was just such harmony and such connection. And this is the thing, this is the challenge. You're going to start to doubt that things were as good as you thought they were. And you know what, Gemini? Things are never as good as you think they are. And they never stay the same. You have to accept things for what they are in front of you at this moment, not what they were or where they were. It was a beautiful time. It was always meant to be a beautiful time. But things change. And where are you now? Is there still beauty in what you have in front of you with regards to this situation? The Fates, this is destiny and by the book. So something was written in the stars for you. Holy shit, I want to get deeper into that. Fuck, stop the presses, dude. What was written in the stars for Gemini? What was written in the stars for something serendipity? The Devil. This is about fate playing out maybe for addictions or for ways that you had gotten stuck or behaviors in the past that you overindulged in. A sense of creating fate. It was written, or something's being written about you. What do you mean? What do you mean, Gemini? Gemini, what does this mean? No. The Fate, by the book. What does this mean? King of Pentacles. This is an actual Capricorn person. Something to do with a boss. A boss. Someone who runs the show. Maybe it's you that runs the show. And so this is about all the abundance that you earned, but how did you earn it? Or how did somebody earn it? Because there is definitely undermining energy. There's definitely backstabbing. It's fear driven. It's taking more than someone deserved to take. I don't know if it's you or somebody else, but it's almost like, I'm sorry, I'm tense. It's being called out on their actions. Somebody's being called out on their actions this week for earning a lot and getting a lot, but in shady, manipulative ways that harm others. So that's just something that we have to pay attention to. Now the Lovers is here. This is you, Gemini, that's coming over here. I think you're maybe helping to figure out the situation, or you've spoken up about the situation and you're helping to unravel it, which is compromising you in a way, but it's also part of your integrity. It's where you stand and what you're doing, or it could be your destiny to stand up against this. Like this kind of like fear. You have to face your fear, and you have to face your fear of whatever this authority is, or you're calling out the fear that whatever this authority is causing a lot of fear. Somebody in your life, I don't know if it's a father figure, it's a boss, whatever it is, the fucking government, I don't know. Whatever it is, somebody is calling out fear. You are the one that's calling out fear. And I just want to confirm for you now, happy birthday, Doug Denny. That was your destiny. You needed to call this person out. Maybe you're the only one in your family that has the strength to like confront your father or your grandfather. Everybody else would say, oh, that's so disrespectful, but you're kind of like, but it seems like you're just talking shit, or you seems like you aren't really intended to keep all those promises, or do you even know what you're speaking about? There's something in your mind that it's clicking, and it's making you realize that what somebody else had to offer or was saying was really just a bunch of hot air. And ultimately it seems like you're by the book in terms of your logical mind. It doesn't make sense to you. But your sensicality, or whatever it is, your intellect, is what is questioning this procedure. And the procedure needs to be questioned because there was a lot of bountifulness that came out of it. And yet over here, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like you're the one following the rules. Somebody else didn't, but the somebody else was somebody that you were supposed to respect or look up to or something like that. But you did, and it's almost like keep tight to the rule book. You know, that's where you can really take action this week. Read the laws, read the rules that you're dealing with. Go slowly and pedantically, Virgo style, and make sure you understand everything, because the truth is that is your secret sauce, or the secret to your success this week, is to really dig down and do that research. Your mind is going to be very clever this week, you know, and with the humility that opposition to Chiron brings you in the beginning of brings Mercury in the beginning of this week, it's good that you'll question your thoughts. It's good that you'll question things. You'll want to question things, and you should question things, because there is a truth that has to come out about something. What the hell is this truth that has to come out? Because now I am all into it. What is this truth that has to come out? Please let me know in the comments below. Something about battle scars, something about you're fighting a battle, or you're fighting, or you have conflict, or you had conflict, or somebody's injuries. So it could be something about something that injured you or injured other people that is coming out. What? Also, it's like you have the strength now, you have experience, you know how to deal with this. Maybe you're the one that's writing the book. Oh, you're the one that's writing a book, and maybe start writing a book, because this is a wonderful time for you to take action and be inspired. So you're the one that could be writing the book on how you have to go do something to fight against something that seems insurmountable. So it's like by the book. Somehow I feel like you're either writing the book, or you're analyzing the book, you're studying the book to figure out how to handle the situation, or you have already handled the situation and you are the one giving the advice, and you are the one that is leading people through this process. So fucking interesting. I got to get a little deeper in. And then we got to pull a Moonology card. Leo energy. Yeah, you're the leader. You're the one taking the lead. You're the one taking the lead. And maybe in some ways you didn't really want this position. It's almost like reluctant leader. You are the reluctant leader. You didn't want this position, but in some ways you kind of understand that, no, I have to have this position. You are the reluctant leader, Gemini. It's your fate. That is your destiny. 2020 could have something to do with what happened in 2020, and now it's coming out in 2022. It's all coming out. What do you need to release? Fear. Confidence is your key to success. Confidence is your key to success. Let's go to the extended because I want to get deeper into this. I'll see you guys there.